So this is Make, Cast and Harvest Your Net Marketing Workshop for Giving Tuesday for Pros. What we are going to be talking about today is what is marketing, your brand, finding your niche, developing a marketing strategy, looking at your mindset and how that can be challenged. And of course, we're going to be doing that by looking at practical resources and doing a few exercises and activities. I'm going to be asking you to make notes and perhaps share your thoughts. You don't have to share things if you don't want to, but I strongly encourage you to. So let's start really with the fundamentals. What is marketing? I find very often that the word marketing and the idea people have about marketing is often wrong. Of course, marketing covers such a wide umbrella, such a wide area, and it's not just social media, it's not just advertising, it's not selling only. There are mainly 4 different types of marketing: inbound, outbound, online, and offline. Inbound marketing is really the strongest kind, the type of marketing you need to be winning at. Inbound essentially means letting the clients find you. This is all about casting the net. So it's all about setting the traps at the right places and clients come to you while you sit. Obviously, you've done all the hard work first, right? It's not just happening by magic. As opposed to outbound marketing, which is when you go to clients. So an example of that may be you go to a conference or you go to an exhibition fair where you believe you may be able to find new contacts that can be your clients. And then we have online marketing and offline marketing. And I believe online marketing is something that we all understand and it's very clear to us. So it's everything that's happening electronically, digitally, online. So social media, websites, blogs, your LinkedIn profile, etc. But what we often seem to forget is that offline marketing exists as well. Maybe it's not as common anymore, but I would argue that the impact it has is still very much valid and very strong. And so offline marketing is what? It's, for example, when you do go and visit your potential clients, when you give them a leaflet or you give them a business card. Offline marketing is you as a person walking into a room, telling people around you what you do for a living and how you can help them. That is offline marketing. So I've already mentioned the word clients a few times, and this is because the goal of marketing is to get us clients. It's really nothing else. If you really think down to the end goal of marketing is client acquisition. Yes, we may say, oh, we're marketing ourselves to increase awareness of our business. We want to increase the awareness of our brand. We want to make sure that people know we exist as translators or as interpreters. But the ultimate purpose is we want to get clients. We don't just want people to know we exist, right? So clients and marketing are so connected and interrelated because the one informs the other. So the idea is to sit down and think about who are your clients currently, who you would like to be your clients in the future, based on perhaps the ideal client you have at the moment. And so how can you take the ideal client you have currently and multiply them so that in the future you have more of those ideal clients? And we're going to look at how we can do that by understanding and exploring the concept of client personas, or as other people know the term, is user personas. But before we get there, I want you to take a moment and note down 3 of your clients. Don't worry, you will not have to share the names or the clients you work with. These will be kept confidential to you. You're not going to share that. But I just want you to spend some time writing down 3 clients. If you just grab a piece of paper or make a note on your phone, whatever. And maybe once you are done, you can just share something in the chat like, yes, I'm done, or I need more time, or I will give you maybe 1-2 more minutes, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, are you finished? Everybody noted at least 2, 1, 3 clients? No? Yes, no? Is everyone with me? Or maybe you're I hope this is not boring to you. So do you, yes, you made a note. Okay, great. Okay, so the question now is, did you note names of people or names of businesses? And if you want, you can unmute yourself and share if you've noted names of people or names of organizations or businesses or brands. Or you can type. You can type if you don't want to unmute yourself. As we're a small group, it's great if we interact, because this is going to be a lot more beneficial to you if you you can have the floor to talk.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say that when I think about clients, I think about them as businesses because I tend to work for businesses. So yeah, that's the way I approach it.
Okay, so far, most of you are saying, I noted businesses. When I think of clients, I think of businesses. Oh, somebody's saying, I don't have any clients yet because I'm still at the very beginning. Okay, no problem. That's great. It's great that you're doing this now. If you're at the start. So thank you very much for sharing. What I want to add, and the reason why I'm asking you this question, is because we don't work with businesses, we work with people. Yes, your client may be an organization or a business, but you have a contact at that organization that you speak with. You send emails, you have phone call exchanges, you have communication exchanges with a person, with a human being. And humans move. They tend to leave jobs, they tend to go to other places. And so the strong message of this exercise is to ensure you understand the value of the client persona. The person you're speaking with, your contact, is much more valuable to you and your long-term sustainability for your business rather than the organization itself. And we have to break down clients into people and into user personas, because that's the way we can truly understand them, by asking the question of who are the clients, what are their genders, what is their age, where are they located in the world, what are their hobbies, what are their interests. And how is that connected to marketing, you may ask? Well, the moment you identify that ideal client profile, which we can actually put into a much more realistic example and say, my client is called Helen. She is a woman. She is 35 years old. She's based in London. She's a solicitor working for a law firm. Her hobby is tennis, and she likes to go out on Saturday and have dinner with her friends. This is a very short profile creation description of a person I'm speaking with very often, who is my client, because she commissions translation work from me, and she is an ideal client for me because I like her, I value our relationship. She brings in very frequent work. They pay the rate I want, and overall we have a very good established working relationship. So if this is the profile of the ideal client for me, now I know what I am looking for. And I can go find another Helen elsewhere, right? So we will do a practical exercise on user personas, and you will have the chance to create your own user personas for your own clients and your own business, because as part of this workshop, you're also getting a workbook, and I'm going to walk you through the workbook in the end after we went through your questions. And you will have plenty of time going forward to practice building or creating the client personas for your business. So the fact is, people these days, clients, don't only hang out in the pub or at work or at a conference. Where are they? They are online. People use social media. That is a fact, and we cannot avoid it because it's the way the world works these days. So, however, the key thing to ask ourselves is, yes, social media, but do I need them? Why? Which social media do I need? How do I use them? What is the purpose they serve? Do I track the results of making this effort on social media, and how do I do that? So marketing and marketing strategy is something that needs to work in harmony with what you do. Going back to our user persona example, in that case, Helen, the solicitor, the 35-year-old solicitor, with conversations I've had with Helen, she mainly uses LinkedIn. So if I want more clients like Helen, there is very little meaning in me spending my time on posting on Facebook, right? But first, we need to do the work of asking, where are the clients? What social media do they use? And if the clients that use, let's say, Instagram are my favorite ideal clients, then I should be on Instagram too, because that's how and where I am going to interact with them. That, I think that makes perfect sense, right? But social media is not the only online presence one can have. There is other online presence as well. Of course, you could have a website, you could have a blog, you could be listed on a variety of professional directories like PROS, for example, or any professional translator associations. If you're a member of one of them, they will have a directory and they might be listing you. Perhaps you have a podcast, or you have your own YouTube channel, or you write for industry magazines, or you write for other blogs. So you do some guest writing and you're invited to express your thoughts on translation, on writing. You become that way an expert. And the online presence is important because it is lifting your brand, it is lifting your profile as a business and as a professional. Think about it in any other way. So if you are looking for a professional, yes, if you are looking for a psychologist, if you're looking for a cleaner, if you're looking for an electrician, if you're looking for someone to come assemble your furniture, you are going to go and do a Google search, or you're going to go and ask somebody if they know somebody to tell you and refer them to you or refer you to them. So this has always been the way services worked, and we sell services, and that's why marketing services may be a little bit more challenging as opposed to marketing a product. So now I want you to spend some time and write a couple of words only, answering the question, what is a brand? And you can share that in the chat, or you can share that in by unmuting yourselves if you want. So what do you think is a brand? What is a brand? Oh, I think there might be an answer in the chat. Hang on. No. So a couple of words, you know, what comes first to mind when you hear the word brand? Or I guess I can ask you, are you a brand?
Hey, Vasiliki, this is Helen. I see there is a comment from Lisa in the questions box. Can you see the comment?
I see it, yeah. So,
Thank you.
so Great, thank you, Lisa. That's great. Lisa says it's how you present yourself, your values, your mission statements, how you see your business developing. Great, amazing. I totally agree. I agree with you, Lisa. Susanna says, yes, I treat myself as a brand. Excellent. Very good. That's all great. I'm really happy with your answers, because most of the times the answer I tend to get from translators or freelancers is that a brand is Coca-Cola, a brand is a business, a brand is a big organization, a brand is often associated for most people with very large organization. But the truth is, anyone who is running a business is a brand. And in fact, you don't even have to run a business to be a brand. Every single person has their own brand, because brand essentially is the who you are. And the key point here being, brands only work when they are authentic. And often the challenging part is that clients like to know who is behind the brand. Clients like to know the face behind the business. So if you have a website that has no about page, if you have no photograph of yourself anywhere online, that can often cause a lack of trustworthiness. And I know that it may make some people uncomfortable putting themselves out there. However, the client trust increases tremendously when they understand who is behind the business, who is the person, who are they dealing with. So a brand has a major visual effect as well. So the key question to ask yourself is, will people associate what they see with me immediately if it is my post? And if the answer is yes, then your brand, then the visual identity of your brand is very much established, which is excellent. But if it is not established, the way you can do that is by thinking colors, fonts, thinking the visuals, the imagery, and the tone of your voice, the values your business represents, the communication styles that you have with your clients in everyday communications, in the way you phrase and type your emails or pick up the phone. A brand can differentiate a business as well. And so that's why it never works if you copy somebody else, because that's simply not authentic. So for those of you who haven't really figured out what is your brand, what may represent you best, there is a very good exercise I like to do, and that is asking yourself, what is your spirit animal? Meaning, which animal do you think represents you the best and why? So you can actually spend some time thinking about that, just a couple of minutes only, because it really has to be the first animal that comes to your mind, even if you have your doubts. And then you can start exploring why and see if any of the features and characteristics of that animal resemble and link well with who you are as a person. Does anyone have any thoughts? Is there anything you want to share? I know this question can be very personal, so you don't have to actually tell the animal that came to your mind, but I find this kind of question and self-exploration very useful when it comes to trying to pin down your brand or your brand identity for your business. And I will give you the example from myself, which is when I was asking myself the question, I think it was maybe 5 years ago, I did a marketing workshop, and I said immediately tiger. And then I thought, what? But why did I say tiger? And people around me said, oh yeah, we definitely see tiger. And I thought, well, but why do you think tiger is appropriate for me? Because they said, well, tigers are very present. They have, you know, very prominent features and very big hair, and they are willing to take risks, and they chase things, and they're powerful. And I thought, okay, I get it. But also, you know, they can be very maternal and very protective, and they reign a kingdom. And I thought, okay, I get it. So somebody has a comment, says, my spirit animal is a horse, changeable, sometimes powerful, nervous, curious, sociable, spiritual. Yeah, exactly. So you could even start drawing a horse and giving colors to the horse, and then that can, you know, transfer onto your visual identity, let's say, of your website, if you want to rebrand or create something. Or you can even see, oh, does my business is it aligned with this idea of the horse as my spirit animal? Is the way I communicate and conduct myself with my clients in the same like in the same line? Or is my curiosity helping me develop as a translator, because I like to learn new things, and I do a lot of new training and workshops that is relevant to my strategy. So these are all very good questions to ask, and actually keep asking yourself going forward, because whatever we do right now in this workshop and the questions you're asking yourself in this workshop should be asked often. So it's not something that we do today on this Wednesday, but something you can do next month, or in the next 6 months or next year, to see if anything has changed, because it is absolutely normal to also change your strategy and change your goals. And so the other thing we have to talk about when we talk about marketing is we need to find our niche. And why is that? That is because we absolutely cannot appeal to absolutely everybody. Not everyone is going to be your client. So if you decide that your specialization is law, then you know you need to appeal to people that work in that industry. But how do you decide how to specialize? It is something a little bit complicated for those starting out, especially if you think you have no experience. And I'm saying you think you have no experience because we all have some kind of experience, even when we are starting out at first. But the most important thing to ask is, what do I know? What do I like? And what am I good at? So this is an exercise you can do by creating a 3-column document, and you can list under what do I know, all the things you know. Like, for example, I know English, I know French, I know Greek, I know about knitting, I know about hiking, I know about sailing. What do I like? I like sailing, I like coffee, I like reading, I like fashion. What am I good at? I am good at translating, I think. I am good at communication. I'm good at networking, developing relationships. And so then you work across, meaning you work across those different answers. And that should guide your niche. And you may end up with something like, then my specialization is English into French translation about sailing, or English into French translation for fashion, or for coffee, or for hiking. You see what I mean? The important thing with specialization is you have to like it, but also it has to be something that your audience likes, meaning there has to be a demand for it. Otherwise, you may like it, but if nobody is willing to buy what you sell, that's not good either. So this is a very good, interesting exercise to do if you want to reconsider your niche area. And now I'm coming to how is everything essentially coming together? Because we cannot just look at the clients, we cannot look only at specialization, we cannot only look at social media. These things do not work in isolation. And strategy only means putting all of the above in synergy, working together in a harmonious way. And I know that strategy very often may scare people away, but it's just a plan. It can be a short-term plan or a long-term plan, and it helps you and forces you to set goals so that you can go from A to B. Strategy is a roadmap. It's like holding your phone when you don't know where you're going, and it's telling you where to turn and what road to take. But to do that, you need to be setting goals, and the goals can be short term, meaning what do you want to achieve this year or next month, or long term, that can be, you know, what is your vision for the next 5 or 4 years. And it's a great time of the year to be making SMART goals because it's December. Tomorrow, actually, it's December, if you can believe it. And you know what happens. We always say it's a new year, so we need to set goals and all of that. I don't really believe in that. I think we can do that goal setting any day and any time of the year. But you know, we can take the new year as an excuse and work on our goals. But goals have to be SMART, meaning specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So, for example, my SMART goal is to have 5 new law firm clients by the end of the year 2023. So you see, it's very specific. It's measurable because I know that if it gets to 2023 and I only have 4 new clients, then I can make a quick measurement and see, well, it's not 5, it's 4. I think it's realistic. I think I can do it. And I'm giving myself a deadline, so it's time bound. But the thing is, we don't just set goals in our business life. It's important to set goals in many areas of our lives because we are one and the same person as translators, interpreters, mothers, daughters, spouses, partners, friends. So it's important to set goals in the area of health, social life, personal life, family life, spiritual life, and our career in general, because everything has to work in synergy, as we said. So for example, going back to how is the strategy helping you to work on all the goals, if the goal is to have 2 more law firms as clients, then if you're looking as a goal to further your career, it's relevant to study something in law or take a legal writing workshop or attend legal networking events or be active on LinkedIn. Do you see what I mean by saying everything has to work in harmony? You cannot be setting one goal in your business life that is in contradiction with your personal or professional development, or that is in contradiction with what you're doing on social media. So everything has to work together in order to deliver the best results possible for you. And we're getting closer to the end of the workshop, and I'm gonna show you the workbook as well and what you can do with that, because I actually want to leave enough time for questions and interaction. And I just want to say I'm a strong believer in mindset, and that actually mindset is everything. We are somehow programmed, well, biologically, to always take the safe approaches and not be in danger and all of that. And we are also following perhaps limiting beliefs that dictate how much work we can do or cannot do, or how far we can reach, or how much money we can make. And it's important to cultivate the entrepreneurial mindset in a way that we believe we can do more than what we have been told we can do. And I think that's very important, but there's an entire other workshop on mindset, so we cannot possibly cover that. I don't know if you wanted to see, I think we should see the workbook before we go to questions, because the workbook may actually trigger some questions that you may have. So I will share the workbook with you right now. And by the way, you are getting the workbook at the end of the session. I'm not exactly sure how we will do it, Helen, but I'm sure there is a way of emailing that to you. So a very quick run through the workbook. These are user personas or client personas, and there are templates, okay? You can create your own, because I have included pages with empty information where you can add your own clients, right? So PI means a private individual, or it could be an agency, or it could be a direct client. So you can use these pages to create your own client personas and understand and see what are their goals, what are the motivations, what problem are you trying to solve for them, and what are their interests and where maybe you could meet them. And then understand who is actually the client that is the ideal client for you, and try and duplicate that version for your business and get more of those ideal clients. This is a little page for developing your own brand and your own brand identity. It's not something you have to use. It's just all of this, by the way, the workbook functions as a tool to trigger your thinking, to help your thinking, to start going. I really like mood boards. I think they're relevant to any business and they can be very creative. This is your SMART goal setting worksheet where you can write and create your own goals for 2023 in this case. And a little tip to leave you with on how to find your niche. And by the way, every single slide of the presentation that contained questions is also part of the further work you could be doing yourself to either start with marketing or reconsider your marketing and how you promote yourself and your business.